The MAAC basketball championships are coming to Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. They begin tomorrow. For tickets, visit boardwalkhall.com. One of the teams you will see is Monmouth from up the road. They will be playing in the tournament, and you can check them out. Their head coach, King Rice, is set to join us here on the Sports Bash Live on 97.3 ESPN. Very accomplished as both a player at UNC, although those guys aren't having a very good year this year. His Monmouth Hawks are having a much better season than the Tar Heels, but he joins us now on the Boardwalk Honda Hotline. Coach, how are you? Do we have you, Coach? All right.
He must be trying to find parking in AC.
Do we have him now? Coach, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There he is. All right. Coach, welcome. How are you, man?
I'm doing great.
Coach King Rice has been with Monmouth for the last 8 years, his 9th year right now. First off, welcome to Atlantic City. Got to be pretty neat to be playing in the old Boardwalk Hall down there.
It's super exciting. As I said, I haven't been down there a whole bunch of times, but I've been down a few times for the MAAC. Just to walk around and say hello. And I know our team is fired up about it. I know our campus is fired up about it. So hopefully we're going to travel well down to Atlantic City.
Yeah, Quinnipiac, you'll play Thursday night at 9:30 at Boardwalk Hall. And listeners can go out and check all of the games out at Boardwalk Hall. Tell us a little bit about your season, 4-seed. I think we've talked to a lot of the coaches in the conference throughout the course of the year. And it seems that the message is a lot of depth, wide open, going to be a lot of fun, and that the winner of this tournament has a legit chance to make some noise in the big dance.
Well, I think that's what it is. I think our league is a league that's really respected. We got a lot of good coaches. We have some new coaches the last couple of years, and those guys are having a lot of success up at St. Peter's and Siena. The rest of us been battling each other for a while. Baker Dunleavy's also somebody who's come into our league that's doing extremely well. So I think we have a good set of coaches, and guys been doing this for a long time, and that's why the games have been so close every night. It's back and forth, and I truly do think anybody can win it this year. But it's like that most years, but more so this year.
Yeah, and you're a coach who's been the MAAC Conference Coach of the Year on multiple occasions. But of the guys we've talked to, such accomplished players as well. And you see like Shadeen Holloway, and I think Greg Paulus' story is so interesting, playing basketball at Duke and then going to play football at Syracuse, and now he's a head coach here. And it seems that highly competitive on the coaching ranks, but a lot of we talked to Frankie Turner, who played in the league, who's from Atlantic City, and the message seems to be that if you want to go out and watch tough, hard-nosed guards and just that kind of basketball, that this is going to be the place to be for the next week.
Well, it definitely is, and long time before I become the coach at Monmouth, the MAAC is known to have great guards, and undersized post guys, where, your center might be 6'6", 6'7", and everybody battles. Well, now we have a couple of bigger guys, but everybody else seems to be around the same size. Our teams are built similarly, and, everybody just battles and goes after each other. Sometimes there's a lot of fouls called because a lot of the kids know each other. We recruit a lot of the same kids, and when you put them on the floor together, there's some great action.
Coach, this year, for the average fan, or just when you're looking at college basketball from a macro level, I think a lot of the opinion is, man, anyone can win it this year. When talking about not just the MAAC or a conference tournament, but the whole thing, the big dance. So that must be exciting from your standpoint. But how does it differ being in a program in a conference where you have 4-year players? You're recruiting someone that you feel or that is going to be there for 4 years, and we know that is not equal with the UNCs of the world. So talk about that process and how maybe your program differs from the ones where it's one and done.
Well, the first thing is, the higher levels, guys, the money is really different. Okay, so it's night and day. You can't compare Monmouth to the University of North Carolina basketball program.
Right.
It's not fair to us. It's not fair to our level to try to say we're the same as them. We're a mid-major school. You're going to have your kids most of the time for 4 years. Most of those guys at that level stay 4 years too. There's a few special kids every year that are considered one and done, and even with those guys, sometimes they have to stay in school longer too. But I think, when I was growing up, I wanted to get a college degree, and I wanted to play basketball at the highest level. I think that's still the same. I think because of social media and the smaller leagues getting on TV so much that we feel like we're closer to the higher majors. But it's two different things, and I have these guys that have been in my program. We have a couple of transfers that transferred in. We've had a couple of guys transfer out. But what we try to do is help kids become a better version of themselves.
Absolutely.
And if we get to do that for 1 year, then we really, really do it for one. But most of our kids, we're getting young men. The family's trusting us with their son. And then our deal is supposed to help them become a grown-up version of that and send them back home with a college degree. They're ready for manhood, ready to go out into the world and attack this world the way that they want to attack it, and they have a college degree behind it.
I saw after the 2016-2017 season, Coach, that Monmouth's men's basketball program was one of only 35 programs across the entire nation in men's hoops that was recognized for its multi-year academic progress rate, the APR. So it received public recognition for that, and that's a big deal. So I just want you to talk about the importance of not only coaching these kids on the floor, but off it and in the classroom, and how that impacts your success on the floor.
Right. Well, I'm a true believer, and I get to be here. I'm the first person in my family to go to college. And my life is, I have a really good life because I got a college degree. And when I was 17, 18 years old, I thought I would play in the NBA for 10, 15 years. A lot of other people thought that too. But the thing I needed to do was to get a degree just in case I didn't make it. Well, most kids are more like me, where you're not going to get to go play in the NBA and make $200 million. You're going to get a regular a job. You get out of college. We're ahead of the curve because most of our guys are on scholarships, so we don't have the loans to pay back. And now you get your degree and you go out into the world and you truly have a chance. And that's what we're all about at Monmouth. And it isn't just the basketball program. The academic center over here helps all of our athletes. Our women's soccer team almost has a 4.0 as a team, women's field hockey. Our football team is over a 3.0. We're just under a 3.0 as the basketball program. And we've graduated every kid that's come through here except for one in the basketball program, and that one is Micah Seaborn. And Micah was on the phone with me this morning talking about coming back and finishing up the couple of hours he had left. And my staff, J.R. Reed, Jamal Meeks, J.R. played with me at Carolina, left school early, but also got his degree. Jamal Meeks played for Bobby Knight. He got his degree. So we try to set the tone to make sure that they understand basketball is incredible and you should use it as long as you can. But you have to use it to make sure you set up your life. So the way you set up your life is having success in the classroom. And if you will have that success in the classroom, then you can have success on the basketball court. But they kind of go hand in hand. If you're a guy that's not taking care of your business on how you carry yourself on campus or how you perform in the classroom, well, then you're probably not going to perform your best on the court if you're not taking care of those responsibilities also.
Excellent stuff. King Rice is the head coach at Monmouth University. They'll play at Boardwalk Hall tomorrow night, 9:30. You also played for Dean Smith, legendary North Carolina coach. But you've also had a lot of assistant stops under some really good head coaches. So I wonder, is there anything from Coach Dean Smith that you take as a coach now and spread that message to your players, or any of the assistants that's something that really stood out to you?
Well, it's, a couple. I always take everything. Our program is based off of the North Carolina program and the things that they taught us there. And it's really important to do what you're supposed to do. It's really important to be on time. It's really important to take your hat off in the building. All things that you would want your son to do. And I learned all of that from Coach Smith. We sit in the first two rows in our classrooms because it's important, because I want the professors to know who my kids are. I don't want them to think they're just a basketball player. I want them to know their names. So we walk in and introduce ourselves, and we talk to our professors so they know me as a person. And when you know someone like that, then my kids will want to work more because they'll know the professor, and the professor will want to work with them more because they know them. That's a big North Carolina thing. I worked for Kevin Stallings. I worked for Tim Welsh. And everybody did it differently. But the guys I was fortunate to work for all took it very serious that families were trusting them with their sons. And I'm a dad now, and I sent my son to Bucknell, and I'm trusting Nathan Davis to take care of my son and help him grow into being a man. Well, we take that seriously at Monmouth. When his families trust us, we take it serious. I treat them like my own son, and I want them to have so much success, so I try to do everything that I can to show them myself, my staff show them, but then also learn from the people on campus so we give ourselves the best chance.
Well, Coach, I got to admit, if there's any of the area high school coaches listening, Monmouth is a place that you might have just sold them on. Excellent stuff. Monmouth will be playing tomorrow night, 9:30 against Quinnipiac. There's a game at 7. It will be the number 1 seed, Siena. They will face the 8-9 winner, which is going on tomorrow. Actually, I apologize. Monmouth's game's on Thursday at 9:30. The 2 playing games start Tuesday and then Wednesday. So, Coach, we appreciate a couple minutes, and we wish you luck in the tournament.
Well, guys, thank you so much for having me on and promoting the MAAC. I think people will be excited about the style of basketball that's going to be right there on the boardwalk. There's some young guys in this league that are doing tremendously well on the floor, and I already mentioned the new coaches in the league that have their teams at the top of the league. So a lot of new faces, a lot of exciting things. And then the last part is I want to, and please, we all got to remember that Coach Clues has not been with the Iona team, and anything you can say to support Tim Clues, not Tom, would be appreciated. Our league misses him. He's won it 4 times in a row, and this year he's not been able to be with his team, but he makes our league better, and our league truly misses him. So if you could give a shout-out to him, that would be awesome also.
Absolutely, will do. And by the way, you can check out Iona will be playing, I believe, let me pull that back up in front of me. That will be on Tuesday at 7 o'clock, Iona and Canisius, which is Frankie. You remember, were you coaching when Frankie Turner played at Canisius?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so.
All right, Coach. Well, good luck in the tournament, and we will see you at Boardwalk Hall.
Well, guys, I hope I get to meet you, and I really appreciate you having me on.
Absolutely. Coach King Rice, the Monmouth Hawks,